I forget. So thanks for jumping on, everybody. I am super excited, and thanks for kind of having us reschedule this. Like we were just talking, Lindsay was running a race this weekend and got a little sick, so we wanted to make sure she was healthy and wasn't, just dragging along with a tummy bug. But I'm so excited to have her on this call. It's funny because I first met Lindsay at the Tahoe retreat, and literally I think she friend requested me like the day before the retreat. I had no idea who she was. She was not on my radar whatsoever because she just signed up as a coach and became Diamond like instantly. And she is signed up under Jen Potter, who's a Diamond coach on Hard Hitters. So it was kind of crazy, and I just felt like we clicked really well, and I just really love Lindsay, and she's just a great spirit and obviously a go-getter in this business, which is why I wanted to have her on this call. Just a little background on her. She signed up as a coach in December. She hit Diamond, like I had said, in 7 weeks. She hit Emerald in 24 hours of signing up as a coach. So she had known a little bit about Beachbody before she signed up. And when she signed up, she hadn't even done a challenge group. She was just ready to go and hit the ground running. She knew she wanted to do this. So I want whatever nuggets she has to share with us about how she kind of attacked this business from day one to share with us. And I'm just going to throw it over to you. I'm going to pin you so you're just our little spotlight here, and go for it.
All right. I am so happy to be here, guys. Speaking is not my thing, so I may suck at it. I'm getting better. I'm going out of my comfort zone, but it's still definitely, I hate speaking. So you know how much I love Kinsey to be here for sure. Like she said, when I started in December, I kind of already knew a little bit about Beachbody, but I had a full-time career. I was a preschool teacher, working about 50 hours a week. I'm a mom of 4. A lot of you are already on my Facebook, so you know that, but my kids are 9, 7, 6, and 5. We are busy, super busy with the kids. My husband is, he's in construction, so he's gone a lot. And with the full-time career, I wasn't ready to tackle it, even though I was really intrigued because I love fitness. I love anything. I loved all Beachbody programs, and I wanted to jump in, but I wasn't ready. So when we relocated and I quit my career, it kind of was the perfect time. But even when I signed up under Jen Potter, she just kind of threw me a bone like we do, asked me to join the group. And I'll say from the start, this is why never, ever be afraid to throw those invites out there, because it may be somebody that you think, oh, they're never going to be interested. And they could end up being like me, where they just take it and run with it within a few days. Throw those invites out to anybody that you think is possible. But anyway, she invited me to join the group. She didn't even mention coaching. It wasn't even something she threw my way. And I thought about for a day. I talked to my husband, and he's very supportive, and that's a huge part of my success too, is having a supportive husband. And he told me, if you're ready, go ahead and do it. And I decided I was going to jump in, but even then, I just wanted to kind of be a discount coach and earn mine for free at best. I had no intention, honestly, of working this business. That's what I wanted from it. I hadn't yet done a challenge group, so I was going right into my coach's challenge group, and I told her I'd take it from there. And then literally I signed up and just was instantly intrigued. So I started researching everything I could. Went online, started discovering I didn't even understand rank. I didn't know what it meant. And I started reading on Emerald. And to me, I don't know how many of you are Emerald. I honestly, not going to put you under the heat lamp, but everybody should be. Emerald is, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's easy. Anybody can achieve Emerald. If you put your, get your eyes forward and go for it, there's no reason everybody can't be Emerald their first month in Beachbody. I saw what rank meant, and I was like, oh, this is easy. My husband already wanted to get healthy with me, so he wanted to sign up, and he was going to be a customer, and to me, it was just a no-brainer, make him one of my coaches. My mom also wanted to jump right in, so I made her a coach. So right there within my first day, I went Emerald. And from there, I just kind of, I kind of shocked Jen because she didn't know I intended to work the business. So she was kind of like, whoa, hold on here. I don't know what to do here, how to help you. And so we've kind of grown together, honestly, and helped each other in the process, I think. But I quickly went, I think, from 2 coaches to 4 coaches. Actually, no, I made my husband go Emerald right along with me 2 days later. So I put 2 coaches under him. and he went Emerald a few days after me. So I already had my Emerald on this side. And then I approached things right away with the discount coaching method, which for some coaches it isn't ideal. And I will tell you, and I'll get into that, you can get discount coaches till the cows come home, but you're not going to have business builders. Their discount coaches are going to come and go. But I will say it was the perfect way for me to get that ladder going, to build my business and to open the doors of leadership, to open other avenues to learn. So I was totally okay with building on discount coaches. Obviously, honestly, the people that I built my business with, a lot of them are already gone. They were discount coaches. They wanted to discount their product. They were along for 2 or 3 months, and they did go. But that was okay because I just kept the momentum going. I didn't get to Diamond with those 8 coaches and my 2 Emeralds and just stop. I just kept the momentum going. So never be afraid to build on those discount coaches for sure, because they're going to be the base of your business. There's a place for them, and you'll just continue to build. And as they go, you'll start having those business builders because people are gaining their confidence in you and what you have to offer. Especially the longer you stick around. You know, they don't, when you first start out, they're weary of it. They don't know, okay, is my coach going to be here long? She hasn't been around that long. Is she going to drop out? So I've had to build up that trust in people, and they see that I'm continuing to build my business, and they trust me as a coach. So yeah, basically that's where I got started. Wanted to be a discount coach, earn my shakes for free, join a challenge group, and I did my upline coaches challenge group in December. I decided to host my own the first week of January, I don't know, 2nd, 3rd of January, and I just ran with it. And it's kind of snowballed from there. So with all that, I'll kind of get into what I feel worked for me to get to where I'm at, how I got to Diamond, how I built that trust, how I've stayed Diamond, you know, with those discount coaches leaving and actually bringing in business building coaches and continuing to hit Success Club 15, 20 and above each month. First of all, I think one of the key things for me, and Kinsey and my upline coach, Sarah, several in this business were a huge part of that, was like learning to see myself as a leader before I was a leader. The second I joined, I knew that I had to fake it till I make it, and I had to show that confidence even if I didn't feel that confidence. If I didn't have that coming out of me, then how was anybody going to have that faith in me to join my team, to be a part of it, or to even be in my challenge group and to trust me to help them in that aspect? So think like a leader and act like a leader before you are even a leader, before you feel like a leader, would be my first thing I would tell you. The other aspect for me that was huge, because I've always suffered with being confident enough, I have a lot of insecurities, and this has taken that away, thank goodness. But in the beginning, it was hard, and it took a lot of personal development to grow out of my insecurities. But keeping my mind on my why was huge for me. And my why was not financially driven. I'm blessed that my husband has a career that I didn't need to worry about the financial aspect, but I needed this for me mentally, physically, emotionally. I've suffered from depression, anxiety, eating disorders through high school. You name it, I've had it. And this was my why. I needed to pull myself out of that. I needed to not just fake confidence for my kids, but feel that confidence to where I could help my kids be confident. And that was a big aspect. Having 3 daughters, I needed something that was going to show them that I took care of me, that I put me first. And that was a big aspect for me. Again, not financial. It was to keep myself accountable and to lift up my own spirits and then help other women do that, because I knew what it felt like to be down in the bottom, and I want to help other women have that same why of feeling confident and secure and sexy around their spouse, or not afraid to wear a bikini at the beach. And that was huge for me. And that'll always probably be my number one why. So that's just me. The other thing for me was immediately from the day I became a coach, Jennifer added me into hard hitters, and I had no idea what vital behaviors meant. I was like, what does this mean? What am I supposed to do? Vital behaviors. The day I heard it, I started following them, and personal development. And since December 2nd or 3rd, there's not been a day that I don't follow those behaviors every single day. I tell my coaches this all the time. If you are not having any traction, anybody talking to you, any success whatsoever, you need to kind of dig deep, hold yourself accountable, and really answer the question, are you following those vital behaviors? Because if you are, you will start seeing the momentum. You will. That's the first thing to ask, are you doing your vital behaviors? Because even when I feel I start slacking a little bit, if I'm doing them, but I'm not pouring my whole self into like, okay, well, I've invited one person, I'll do the rest later. It's just that little, stepping stone that I'm missing that can totally take the momentum away. So be consistent in those vital behaviors, and I promise you that momentum is going to just keep on building. And that was a lot of it. My first 2 months of getting coaches was just consistency, nonstop, inviting and being a product of the product, posting, sharing. And I tried to never be tacky in my sharing. Even now, I may share a lot less than other coaches, but don't be fooled and think I'm not still sharing and working it. I just may do it a little different. I don't put it out there the same way. I just do it my way. But every single day I am sharing that. And everybody kept seeing it. And a lot of my coaches came to me, actually. I didn't even have to seek them out. They're like, what is this you're doing? You seem happier. You seem healthy. Your body looks better than it's ever looked. Your marriage seems stronger. They saw all these components and they wanted to know what I was doing. And I just started sharing with them. And just opening that line of communication was huge. And my coaches honestly came from that, just being real, authentic, and sharing what it's done for me. And that was huge. The other thing from the beginning, like I said, in January, I started my first challenge group. And I went into challenge groups knowing that they were the sweet spot. If I had a challenge group that kicked butt, my good coaches were going to come from there, because I needed to be a leader and teach them what it meant to lead. And by having them in the challenge group and leading that challenge group, they were seeing how to lead their own team. And they were pumped up. They were excited. Their body was changing. Their friends were talking to them, saying, what are you doing? And they were having people approach them. And so all of a sudden I would have these customers say, well, I want to do what you do because I keep sending you these customers. I might as well be having these customers. And that's a huge thing, which sometimes it can suck, because we can be like, man, you were like sending me so many customers. But at the same time, when you're wanting to build a team, you want to help those people grow too and help them fly and do their own thing. So challenge groups are seriously so important. And I know Hard Hitters has some amazing coaches that do some of the best challenge groups, I think, in the company, honestly. I've been blessed to be a part of them and have learned from so many of them that have invited me into their groups in the last few months. Daily challenges in those challenge groups, posting yourself. You cannot expect your challengers and your coaches to be posting if you're not posting. You need to be just as consistent as them. You need to be uplifting them every day. You need to be checking in on them. It's not hard. It's just being there for them and being consistent and making the group fun. And like I said, ways I found to do that, we're adding an extra daily challenge, or having them keep track of their own points a few times so they would be, involved in it, and kind of, it became a competition. And so really focus on your challenge groups. And I honestly suggest every coach host their own challenge group within 3 to 4 weeks of signing up. You can't be scared. You just have to hit the ground running. And, like I said, fake it till you make it. With Kinsey, your upline, whoever's your upline in here, you guys are all rock stars, and you're going to be able to know that your other coaches are going to have your back. Even if you are scared to host your first, I don't know if any of you haven't hosted your first yet, bring another coach in there that can give you advice or tell you, hey, I noticed this in the group or this in the group. And that was what I did in my first group. I asked my upline to join me, and then I stayed in one of hers because I would take tips from hers and use them, because those challenge groups are huge. And I didn't realize till recently in the business that it's a very small percentage of us that actually do host challenge groups. and do them well. And if you do that and do them well, you will be successful, because half of my customers have come from other coaches, and they're just unhappy because their coach isn't hosting challenge groups, their coach isn't checking in on them, their coach sold something to them and never answered a question, checked on them. And those challenge groups, like I said, they're the sweet spot. Those are what keep your customers long-term customers and not just customers for 1 month. Because without that accountability group, they're going to do their shakes for a month. They're going to get discouraged and say, oh, I didn't lose 20 pounds. And they're going to go down the road. So it's really just keeping them in check and being there for them and having that support system that continually keeps them going. I also have an ongoing group. So my challengers go into a 1 month group, and after that group, I have an ongoing Wellness Warriors group, and all of my previous customers go into that group. And we don't post as often in there. There's not constant challenges. I'll throw out a special challenge. But basically, it's a huge community that just keeps growing. And by doing that, sometimes I'll be able to say, hey, are you guys ready for a new workout program? Or it'll motivate them to keep going and invite a friend in and things like that. So I do suggest, if you don't have an ongoing group, to maybe create that, and all of your challengers that have completed one, put them in there. And like I said, you don't have to dedicate a huge amount of time to that like you do your monthly one, but keep it going. Keep, when you're posting your sweaty selfie or your Shakeology picture, one, post it into this one as well. And it's super simple, but it keeps them feeling like you care. And you'll notice, like, it's easier to gauge who is not engaging, to where you can shoot them a private message and be like, hey, are you still doing okay? Things like that. And they don't slip off the radar. So I would suggest an ongoing group. Another thing for hitting diamond for me was setting my goal date and not backing down from that date. I had gone to Super Saturday, I think right after New Year's. I think it was the first week of January. And Kelly was hosting it, and she kind of made a joke to me because they were talking about the diamond retreat with a few of the other diamond coaches, and I was still in Emerald, and I was so jealous. I'm like, oh, if you could just wait another month or so, I want to be there. And she's like, well, if you can do it in 1 more week, you can go. And like, that was it for me. Once she said that, I was like, oh, okay, well, there's my date. So I had 1 week, and I think I had 4 more coaches I had to get under me. And it just became my non-negotiable. And it really showed me that it is so true. If you set that date and you make it non-negotiable and you write that date down everywhere, or you write that goal down, you're going to accomplish it, because it's in your face. It's not in the back of your mind. It needs to be written down in front of your face and non-negotiable, like your life depends on it. And I buckled down and just went for it. And I had the confidence that I was going to hit it. And I literally even did it. I was on a family trip in Disneyland with my family, and that was my last week to hit it. I was like, I'm going to hit it. I mean, in between rides, we're waiting in line, and I'm sitting there communicating with friends and talking to them. And again, most of them were discount coaches, and I kind of went with and I'm sure Kinsey has it on your guys' team page, the verbiage that we share when they're going to buy a challenge pack. Hey, just so you know, you have the opportunity to as a discount coach, no obligation to sell, or you will save the 25%. And it was a no-brainer for all of my friends and family. Are like, oh, well, why would we pay full price then? Again, they didn't plan on working the business, and I knew that wasn't ideal because I did want business builders, but it gave me the groundwork to build on. And that's what I wanted, because then I knew I'd be in leadership and I would have that avenue open. So do not be afraid to build on the discount coaches, and don't discount them as discount coaches, because some of my discount coaches have been my top sellers. So they may surprise you and say they're signing up for the discount, and then they'll blow you away because all of a sudden the friends that are interested come to them and they just run with it and they get excited and they jump in. So do not think of them as discount coaches, even though they plan to be. Obviously, I'm not telling you bombard them, overwhelm them, but just let them know that it's there. Add them to your team page or to Hard Hitters team page. Just keep that avenue open for them, because they may see this family we have, which was a huge part for me that made me intrigued, because I saw just how we all come together. There's over 1,000 of us, but we're all there for each other. It's not a competition. We're not here to beat each other out. It's a family that respects each other and is there to build each other up. And they may come into that, and that may be something they feel they're missing in their life, and they may jump in. So anyways, that was a huge part of me being able to progress to diamond so quick. The other part, like I spoke of in like introducing, was using family. I know that may not work for everybody, but for me, it was kind of a no-brainer. Like I said, my husband wanted to lose 15 pounds. He just said he'd jump in with me. And I wasn't really worried because I had already seen my momentum like building, because the second I signed up and my coach introduced me, I had people coming to me. So I wasn't worried about the cost of his shakes because I knew I was going to earn both of ours for free. And we have never paid for anything we bought through Beachbody. It has all been commission. And there's so many ways too. Even if you sign your spouse up and they're not wanting to do Shakeology, you can do supplements. You can also buy an extra box of Shakeology and sell it. It's so easy to sell the samples for $4 or $5 a pack, and then you already can build your emerald over here because you can use your spouse. Not all spouses are up for that. I get that. But you can find a friend, a parent. Emerald, like I said, that should be a no-brainer. That should be your first month. You can do it. Just with 2 discount coaches alone, you can do that and then start building from there. You know, you're at least getting your free leads, and it's a great start and a great stepping stone. But if you do have the spouse, a mother, anyone, my 2 emeralds to start with were my husband and my mom. I worked both of their businesses myself, put 2 coaches under each of them, and had my 8 coaches, and I was good to go. And since then, obviously, I've built other emeralds here. So I don't have to work theirs, but I continue to work it. Hopefully someday there'll be other diamonds for me and I can work them all the way up to diamond. So if you do have that availability, just look for family that's willing to put themselves out there for you. I know it can be scary to them, but if you explain to them that there's really no pressure on them, no obligation, that's a huge thing too. I'm going super fast. So if I go too fast, you guys can be like, stop. Writing out a list of 100 people was huge for me too. I heard that so many times when I first began. Sit down, write a list of 100 people that you can approach, that you think can benefit from this business in any way, whether it be financially, physically, emotionally, mentally, from closest friends, relatives, to the neighbor down the street. Anybody you can think of, put on that list as possibilities, and don't discount anyone, because I can tell you some of my coaches and my challengers are people that approach me that I honestly did not approach because I was like, nah, they're not interested. And then they come to me, I'm like, oh shoot, I would have never thought that they would come to me. So just like I said earlier too, don't discount anyone, because you may be surprised who's going to come to you. They will come out of the woodwork as the more they see your consistency, but don't be afraid to jump out and invite them either. There's also a few coaches I've lost that are on my friends list, and they were kind of intrigued, came to me maybe for a 3-day refresh, and they weren't interested that month after they asked me details, and like, oh, it's kind of expensive, I'm going to wait. And I never worked on pursuing them again. Then a few months later, I'll see they're with another coach. So don't be afraid to kind of just go back to it, not hounding them, but don't be afraid to ask again. Just say, hey, I'm just checking in with you. The worst thing they can say is no. And you have to remember that it's not selling. That was a huge thing for me. I never wanted to sell. And to this day, I don't feel like I'm selling anything. I feel like I'm offering something that can change their life. And I've watched it change so many of my friends and family and challengers' lives. And so I don't feel any guilt for bringing it to them, because if I'm bringing it to them, it's because I realize there's something in what we do that they need. So don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to invite. I know it can be so scary in the beginning, but I promise you the worst they can say is no. And even if they do say no, sometimes it's just a not right now. And they may come back to you. I've had so many that have acted interested. I'll say something and say, nope, not for me. And a month later, they come back to me like, okay, I'm ready. So don't get discouraged, because even if they say no, you're in their mind. They know you're there, and they may come back to you when they're ready. And just have that confidence, like I said, that you're giving them an opportunity. When you present the coaching, when you present challenge groups, anything you're presenting with this business, never get caught in thinking that they're doing you a favor. That like, oh, I need to build my team, so I'm going to try to recruit these people. You need to view it as you're giving them an opportunity, because that's what you're doing. you know, like I said, this wasn't financial for me, but I don't have to worry about my kids' sports or vacations or going out to dinner as often as we want, anything like that anymore. You know, our savings is built, we're debt free, and that's all because of this. And, you know, I didn't think I even needed it because, like I said, my husband had a career. I'm like, oh, we're fine financially, but we also didn't have those extras. You know, I had to stress, like, I have to register my kids for soccer this week. It's $110 a piece. Normally I'd be like, oh shoot, we got to pull that from savings, and I don't flinch at it anymore. So be confident in the fact that you're giving them an opportunity because you truly are, and it's life-changing. And I'm sure you all agree, and that's why you're all here. And you just have to have that confidence that that's what you're giving to anybody you're giving the business opportunity to. Whenever you're sharing, have that confidence that this is for them, not for you, because it really is. And then the last thing, I think I'm pretty much done, but constantly, if you, hopefully, like I said, y'all are Emerald or close, you can do it if not. And my other suggestion would be to put yourself in a push to diamond group. I don't know if Kinsey does that or who you guys are under, but put yourself in that group and just go for it. Buckle down. A lot of times putting yourself in that predicament where you're in that group, it will hold you accountable so much more. I remember Margot actually became my success partner. When she did, I was kind of just like still feeling stuck. And just having that accountability of that success partner really like made me jump. I was like, okay, she's counting on me. My team's counting on me. It was somebody just there that I felt held me more accountable and was super successful in it. And I wanted to have that same success and hold my own as well. And I kind of view the push to diamond as the same thing. There's so many that are thrust in there, and you guys are all working towards the same goal. And if you really just buckle down and you follow the assignments in that group, it's going to be huge. So really just put yourself out there, put yourself in the group. Even if you're new Emerald and you're like, oh no, diamond's so far away, just put a date on it. Put a date 30 days out and just go for it and make it non-negotiable. And if you are Emerald, don't push that diamond date out any further than 30 days. Honestly, the worst that can happen is you won't hit it. But if you put that date down, you're going to put it in your mind and you're going to buckle down. And I guarantee you, even if somehow you don't hit it, you're going to be a whole lot closer than you would be if you didn't put it in writing. So put that date in writing and just go for it and don't back down. So I think that's kind of all I have to go over. So you're still on mute. Oh, hold on. Where'd everybody go?
Okay. How do I, let's see. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Like, I loved everything that you said. And I loved that a lot of the stuff you talked about is like, after being a coach for over a year, it's like, I know all these things, but hearing them again, like, are just such great reminders. And it's a great reminder that there is no secret to this, right? Like, it's the vital behaviors. It's sharing your story. It's sharing your why. It's, you know, finding a success partner. It's running killer challenge groups. Like, that is it. Like, that is it. And I love that, like, you hit diamond so quickly, but you did it doing the things that we all should be doing to hit those goals. I know you talked a little bit about, like, sharing, like, how you share your coaching things on your social media, and that you're not like all out there, which I love. And I love that you share things really subtly. And I don't think we have to be like, I'm a Beachbody coach, look at me, like, you know, whatever. But you can share subtly, like with you, like you just said, with your kids' soccer money. Like, it's not a financial thing for you, but in the end, it's a financial thing, right? We get financial gain from this business. And I love that you have a different why than maybe a lot of people. I'm kind of similar to you in that, you know, at first financially was not the main reason I went into it, but now it's become a part of it, and that I can share those things, you know, just sharing those little things and how it's changed your life. Even if you're a brand new coach and you got your Shakeology for free, that's $130 worth of something you got for free. Like, nobody just gets $130 for free stuff just because. You had to work hard for it and help people in order to make that happen. I love that you talked about running killer challenge groups, because that is the bread and butter. That is where the magic happens. You have to be running at least one challenge group a month. with, new people that are ready to change their lives, change their position that they're in, their fitness, their health, everything. Because like you said, that's where you find your rock star coaches from. And I, again, love that you touched on discount coaches, because in this business, it really is like an 80-20. We talk about that with food and nutrition and everything, but 20% of the coaches that you sign up are actually going to be business building coaches. 80% are going to be discount, but they're an important part too, because they help you get going. I love that you said that they, a lot of those coaches who signed up with you in the beginning aren't even here anymore, but that's okay, because you got to where you wanted to go. You helped some people save some money and get started with Shakeology. And then you just kept moving forward. And that's why you're still where you are and moving forward even more. So that was really cool to hear that. I know we get discouraged a lot of the times when we sign up discount coaches and then they're dropping off left and right, but that's okay. That's all a part of it. So, and then for new coaches who are on the call, a success partner is kind of someone you just, and talk to your upline coach if you want to get hooked up with a success partner, but it's just someone that you can lean on to in the business, not someone that's in your direct downline, but maybe someone who, you started the business at the same time and you kind of have the same goals and maybe could, same personalities and just could jive well. And it's just someone to bounce ideas off of, like what's working for you, what's not working for you. Do you want to team up and host a challenge group or host a Push to Emerald group, whatever it is. It's just that person that you can kind of go back and forth with and brainstorm different things. So if you want a success partner, talk to your upline coach. I highly recommend it if you plan on going far in this business. So I'll kind of open it up for questions. If anybody has questions for Lindsay or myself or anything in general, feel free to ask away. Not all at once. Anybody? I know she covered everything so good, so there's no questions.
Super fast.
All right. Well, then I guess I just want to say, Lindsay, thank you again so much. This was awesome. And like I said, it was just, it was just so great to hear the things that are, the things we know that we need to do that are the things that helped you get to where you are. So.
Yeah, I'm happy I could help. I hope some of you guys took something away and that it can help you for sure.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, ladies. I have a teething 8-month-old, so I'm sorry I didn't realize you could hear me or see me. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going crazy. So I appreciate you muting me for me, because I was like, I didn't even know that was an option.
I didn't want to cut Lindsay off in between, but I was like, I think I could mute her. But hey, we've all been there. Trust me.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, she can hear everything I'm doing. And
I don't even hear kids anymore.
Like, oh man.
I don't hear them. I'm like, oh, whatever.
I think every single person on this call can relate to that. So don't worry.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And then so there's one of these is every week or every 2 weeks or
Team Fired Up. I host one monthly.
Okay.
And then the Team Hard Hitters, which is our upline, also hosts them monthly. And I have those posted on our team page as well. So you can kind of tune into whichever ones work well with your schedule.
Okay. Perfect.
But ours are usually the first week of every month.
Okay. Yeah, because my whole thing is I don't really have a huge networking. I don't have a ton of friends. I'm a stay-at-home mom, which is literally what I do. So
yes.
I don't have a lot. I'm hoping to go off of just my own journey and hope to pull interest in just from them seeing what I'm going through, changes I'm going through. So
yes, exactly. And just sharing that, expanding your network on social media, like Lindsay touched on making a name or 100 name list that you kind of just start with those people that come to mind and just work off that in the beginning. Don't worry about, needing to have a contact list of 1,000 people right out the gate. Just work on that 100 name list and chip away at that every day, and you'll be a lot farther than you were on day one, and you'll just start to grow from there.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to keep plugging away. I got all my stuff in the mail today, so
awesome.
Tomorrow's the magic day of start.
So cool. Well, I'm excited for you.
I'm super excited. So thank you very much. I'm gonna disconnect though because my son's going crazy.
And thanks again, everybody, for hopping on. It was great to see you all, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.